let's do some of my non-Disney plush collection. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Well, if you're new here, my name is Lize and I'm a Disney plush collector from the UK. So I can't even remember how long ago it was, but someone has asked me in the comments if I would show my non-Disney plush collection, specifically counting it, which will be a different task altogether. But I was intrigued that some of you are interested in seeing my non-Disney plush collection, because obviously I do collect other things. So I thought I would start with my Halloween plushes, simply because some of them are in storage. So like there's Christmas non-Disney plushes that are in storage. So I'll do the Halloween one and then I'll do the Christmas one in December. And then I think I've got a few Valentine's Easter plushes that aren't Disney, so I'll need to show you those as well. But then once I feel like I've shown you all of my non-Disney plush collection, then we can count it together. Now originally this was just going to be my Jellycat Halloween collection, and then I got them all out and I've only got 5. I thought I had more than that, so I decided I would show you all of my Halloween non-Disney plushes to fill out the video a little bit. But we are actually going to start with the Halloween Jellycats, and I'm going to put chapters in the description. That means that you can skip ahead if you just want to see my squishmallows or you just want to see my miscellaneous or something like that. So let's get started with the Jellycats. So I'll be honest, I don't know which one came first, so I'm not doing these in any particular order because the only ones I know I got recently are this year's release. So the first one I'm going to show you is Vivacious Pumpkin, which I'll be honest, I forgot I had, so I'm glad I'm doing this video with you because I just kind of forget what I have sometimes, so it's good to keep a record. So this is a pumpkin Jellycat. I got it from Waterstones for $17.99, so I think it's quite old because if I got it now it would probably be more like £30, but it's really cute. I did used to have a lot of pumpkin plushes. I've got some to show you still, but when I get Disney pumpkins, I kind of like to get rid of the non-Disney pumpkins, but I will keep the Jellycat pumpkin for obvious reasons. I should say as well, I've joined that jelly journal where you can track all of your Jellycats and you can keep a wish list and stuff. So I'm actually just checking whether I've got the pumpkin, which I haven't got it in my collection now, so I will add it now. There's 2, there's a Museballs pumpkin and then there's Vivacious Vegetable pumpkin, which is the one I have. So I'm just going to add it to my collection. So it tells you how many you have, it tells people your wish list, and it also tells you the value of your collection if you know how much you paid for them, which for some of the retired ones I don't, so I don't have an accurate count of my collection. But I am lizeindisney if you want to add me over on Jelly Journal, and apparently I have a collection value of £1,212, but like I say, some of the retired ones just have 0 as their value, so it will be higher than that actually. But it says I've got 49 Jellycats and 73 on my wish list. We'll talk about the wish list in a little bit. And then the next one I think was a Christmas present last year. My friend Becca got this for me because she knew I really wanted it, and it's the Ookie Ghost. I really love the Ookie collection, but this is the only one I have. It's so cute and I was so happy that she'd picked it up for me because I was looking everywhere for it and couldn't find it, but she had a really good stockist at the time. I'm not sure whether they're one of the ones that Jellycats pulled out of, but this is why independents were so important, because you could find retired Jellycats that just hadn't sold in that particular store. So this is the Ookie Ghost, and then I think I've had this one for 3 Halloweens because I remember it used to be my only Halloween Jellycat for a while. But it's Skeleton Bob. I absolutely love him. He's so thin and he's like £33, which is ridiculous for how thin he is, but I just love the like ragdoll effect of him, and he was like an immediate buy. I didn't even think about it, to be honest. But they keep re-releasing this one, so it's clearly very popular. And then last year they released this and I got something else which I'll show you next, but I regretted it so much that when it got re-released this year I got it. And again it was £33 and it's Mummy Bob. So the same as the skeleton, but he's a mummy this time, and there's embroidery on the like lines of fabric, and I just really love him. I really regretted not getting him last year, but the problem is when they drop multiple things I want, I only choose one. and then I have to just hope that they re-release the one that I left behind. So I'm really glad that they re-released him. I actually broke my rule about only buying one Jellycat this year, and I bought two because I can do what I want. But the one I bought instead of Mummy Bob last year didn't come back this year, so I made the right decision, and that was Skelly Dog Dan. So I love dogs, as you know, and I was going through a real phase of collecting all of the dog squishmallows. So I was like, I'm getting this dog Jellycat. I did also go through a bit of a phase of collecting the dog Jellycats as well, but that hasn't gone very well because they've released so many and some of them are really expensive. So I got Skelly Dog Dan, and he might have been the last dog I got actually, but I'm really glad I got him because, like I said, he didn't come back this year and Mummy Bob did, so I definitely made the right decision, and I think he's one of my favourite Jellycats I own, to be honest. I mean, that's a slightly weird thing to say because I wouldn't own them if I didn't love them, but you know what I mean. And then the final one I got this year, I actually got it during clearing. So I was on a clearing shift. Luckily I was on WhatsApp, I wasn't answering the phones, but I just kept refreshing the page trying to get this one because I didn't want to miss it. And it's the Amusables toffee apple. So you can see it's got a stick to hold it with, but it's also got a flat base as though the toffee's melted onto like a table or something. And he's got little red legs, and you can see a bit of the green apple at the top, and I just absolutely love him. He's absolutely adorable. I don't even eat toffee apples. I've got a bit of a thing where I won't really buy Amusables of things that I don't eat, but I break that rule sometimes because look how cute. I do eat Disney toffee apples, but they're completely different to our toffee apples. And then I did say I'd talk about my wish list a little bit because there were two Halloween ones that I really wanted this year. So I really wanted the Ookie Jack-o'-lantern. I love the Ookie range, so I wanted that one. They also used to do a Ookie bat, which I really wanted, and one that I'm even considering buying this weekend, which I might or might not, is the Amusables skull planter, because I just think it's absolutely adorable. It's like a succulent, but then the planter itself is a skull, and I just love it. And then one that Joe really liked that I did like, but I think it was £33 again, I didn't want to pay that much, was the Hecate Hoot Nightly, which is a little owl with a witch's hat on, and it did remind me of that owl from The Sword in the Stone, Archimedes, for some reason. Even though he looks nothing like Archimedes, his vibes just give off Archimedes, I guess. And then of the Bartholomew Bears, I really loved the one where he's dressed up as a pumpkin. I preferred it to the one where he's dressed as a bat, but I didn't see either of them for me to buy when I've been on my travels. And then one I really wanted to complete this kind of skeleton collection that I'm working on at the moment is Skellybat Jim, but I haven't seen Skellybat Jim either. But I'm happy with my collection. I don't have a massive collection, but the thing is with Jellycats, they are so expensive I can't justify them a lot of the time. I can't ask for them for Christmas and birthdays off people because they're too expensive to gift, or at least the like normal size ones are. The little ones and the keychains sometimes, but when you get like over £30, I'm like, no, that's too expensive to ask for from someone. And they're not really available on Amazon, and it's my Amazon wish list that I share out with people. So because you can't add things from third parties anymore, it makes it really hard for me to ask for Jellycats. But I'm hoping that's where Jelly Journal comes in, because if someone wants to follow me on there and look at my wish list, I do update that regularly. So next we're going to go on to Labubus, because I do have one Halloween Labubu that I got for my birthday actually, and I did say at the time that I would take it out the box, and I just haven't yet, and it's the sitting pumpkin. So it's still in the box because I really don't think I'm going to put it on my bag. I've got like 6 brand new Big Into Energies that I can put on my bag, so they're all getting the turn on my bag, and this one's just too cute to accidentally lose or get wet or get dirty or something, so it's staying in the box for now because I think it's by far my favourite Labubu, to be honest, just because of the pumpkin. And then Snoopy, I've got one Halloween Snoopy. I got this when we went to Knott's Berry Farm in 2019. We went at Halloween, and I've got this little Snoopy that's holding a pumpkin that says Knott's Berry Farm on it. Note that it doesn't say Knott's Scary Farm because it's not a scary Snoopy, but when me and Joe went on our honeymoon last year, they did have some spookier ones, but I just bought that little sheriff, didn't I? You may notice I'm wearing a Knott's Berry Farm shirt that says Happy Halloween, which I got on my honeymoon last year, and that's probably why I didn't get a plush, because I was like, I'm getting a shirt, I've got a plush from previous years, let's get something more neutral. So I got that sheriff. So this is my Halloween Snoopy. Then this one I picked up when we went to Florida in 2023, I think, or 2022. But I really love squishables, and I only have 2 squishables. When we were on our honeymoon, I was looking for more squishables, and they don't seem to be as widely sold over on that coast, which is how I know this one's from Florida. So they were at Knott's Berry Farm, and I think that might have been it. And then I looked in Canada, because we've just recently come from Canada, and nowhere sold them there either. So this one is very precious to me, because I'm really obsessed with like Grim Reapers and Plague Doctors and stuff. So when I saw that this one was like an alter ego series, so they were dressed as different things, I had to get the barista. So he's got the green hat on. He obviously works at Starbucks, and they just can't say that. And he's got an apron on and a little coffee cup, and he's absolutely adorable. I love squishables. I love the quality of them. They're from New York City, so I'm hoping that if I can go to New York City, I can find many shops there that sell them. But I just wish they'd come to the UK, because my collection of them is pitifully small at the moment. But fun fact, this one actually stays out all year round, because you can get a cold or flu all year round, so you need Dr. Plague all year round, and you can go and get a Starbucks all year round as well. So it's not very Halloween to me. And then one more category before we go on to squishmallows, I want to talk about Care Bears. There's a shop next to Primark in Merry Hill that always has really cool Care Bears, and when I saw this one, I was like, I need to have it for my Halloween collection, because as you know, I love Halloween and Christmas, but I am predominantly a Halloween girly. So I think there were 4 to choose from, but this one was my favourite, so I got this Care Bear. It's the Trick or Sweet Bear, and it's an orange bear with a witch's hat, a cape, and a pumpkin on the belly. I really love it. I've got some Care Bears to show you next month as well, so if you're interested in my non-Disney plush collection, then please make sure you subscribe and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss a video from me. You may wonder why I'm filming in this room, and it's just because it's the quietest room right now with the most Halloween backdrop, because I could film sat on my floor in the living room, but it's quite noisy there right now because the schools have just come out, so there's kids going past the window and you can hear them in the living room, but you can't hear them in our bedroom because we're on the back of the house. A little fun fact you didn't need to know about my house. So you may notice I'm wearing something else for this little bit of the video, but it's because I did remember that I'd forgot some very important plushes. So first of all, I'm going to do palm pals. Now, I would have bet money that I had more than just one Halloween palm pal. I could have sworn I had one last year, unless they're just on my Amazon wish list maybe, and that's why I think I've got them. But I got this from Canada on my trip that I went on in September. It's the Mummy palm pal. I'm really obsessed with palm pals. I love how like squidgy they are. They've got really like lumpy bodies, and this one was from this year's release, I think. I don't really know which get released when with palm pals, to be honest, and it's not the only palm pal I got, so I would recommend seeing my Disney Cruise Line haul if you want to see what palm pals I've got. I am going to bring you like a regular here's my non-seasonal palm pal collection at some point, but I'm obsessed with this one. And then Build-A-Bear is the other category I forgot, because I'll be honest, I got these in like August when Joe and I went to Cheshire Oaks, and then I put them in a bag to put them in my Stitch Build-A-Bear video, and I just forgot. So you have already seen them, but it bears repeating to show them to you again in this Halloween non-Disney plush collection video. So first of all, I've got this wristy of a pumpkin. I haven't even put it on any of my stitches yet. That's how much I forgot about this. So I need to take the tag off and put it on one of my stitches, but even though it's a wristy, I think it still counts as a plush. And then I got 3 of the 4 or 5 mini beans that they released for Halloween this year. So I've got a green zombie axolotl, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. I've got a pumpkin bear. This one is a lot different to the bear the year before that they did that was a pumpkin, and I feel like I kind of prefer that one, but I do really like this one anyway. And then I got the capybara as a skeleton. I've got a Christmas version as well, which I will hopefully show you at some point in December. But those are the plushes that I forgot that I think are pretty big ones to forget. So let's go back to my squishmallows now. Now, on to squishmallows. I've got quite a few, so I'm going to take them in size order. So first of all, I'm going to start with the squishmallows that McDonald's did, I think last year. So I've got Brock, there's his box. His fact says that Brock loves to help others, and there he is. Brock is the bulldog and he's got bat wings for Halloween. And then we've got Stump. The fun fact says Stump teaches self-defense classes to keep the squad safe, and Stump is a black skelly cat and the bones are blue, which I love. And then I've got Drake, which is really weird because I've got this one in big form and his name isn't Drake. But Drake's fun fact is he helps others as much as he can. And Drake is a vampire with bat wings as well. And the final one I've got is Wade, and Wade can play an instrument. It doesn't say what instrument, which is a little bit weird. Why tell me he can play an instrument if you're not going to tell me which one? And there's Wade, he's a werewolf. I love the quality of these. I've seen online, I'm filming this at like the start of October, that McDonald's are doing Care Bears for Halloween this year, and I've had a look at them and I don't like their quality, so I don't think I'm going to get them. But going up to the 5-inch squishmallows, I have Otto, who is a Grim Reaper. Now I've bought Otto because I don't love my huge squishmallows that I'm about to show you. So I recently bought this one on VINTED because I was like, well, he's the only one I like of my big ones, so I could part with all of my big ones if I replace my Grim Reaper. Now I had in mind to get the 7.5-inch, but I couldn't see anyone selling that for a decent price, so I've got the 5-inch. It's fine, the size doesn't really matter. And there's Otto's tag, and then we're going to go on to the 7.5-inch ones. So if you've been on my channel before and looked at my squishmallows, you'll mainly see my Disney collection and my dog collection. So I've got this dog that is called Duck Duck, and it's a zombie dog. So the ears are 2 different colours, there's a patch over one eye, there's some stitching on the face, there's a stitched heart on the belly as well. It's a really cool dog. I feel like they bought this out last year or maybe the year before, but I had to get it because it was a dog. So this is Duck Duck, and there's the tag for Duck Duck. And then I've had this one quite a while actually, but it's now fairly similar to another plush I have, so I might have to part with it. But this is Delindy, which is a pumpkin spice latte. Now I don't know why I bought this because I don't drink pumpkin spice lattes, but I really like the coffee type squishmallows, so that's probably why I have it. But your guess is as good as mine why I bought a plush of something I specifically don't like. And there's Delindy's tag. And then this one might have been last year as well, but all I know is I've bought no Halloween squishmallows this year, apart from Otto on VINTED, but like out of the new drops I haven't bought any. So this is Morrison. It is a cauldron with orange bubbles coming out and a bat wing and I think a stick, but it's a really cute one, really unusual, and that's Morrison's tag. And then I know exactly where I got this one because I got it on my honeymoon. Now you'll probably know, again, if you've seen me collect squishmallows, that I really love axolotl squishmallows. So this is a black axolotl called Xander, and the belly is like a gradient of orange, purple and blue, and so is the inner fins on their heads. I'm not 100% sure what they are. And there's Xander's tag. I got this from a Five Below, thinking that they hadn't come to our country, and then I got home and you could get Xander everywhere, but I'm pretty sure I paid far less than I would have in our country. And then onto my big ones. So this one is my favourite. I bought these from Aldi a few years back. I think I used to have 5. I think I've already parted with one, but I don't like how big they are. They obviously take up a lot of room when they're being displayed. I had to take all of the Stitch Tack snacks off so that they could have the shelf, and if you didn't see my decorate with me, I'll leave it in the description. And then they take up like a whole bag by themselves in my loft, so they are a bit too big, so I have been looking to replace them with smaller ones. So the first one is Otto again. So he's exactly the same as the 5-inch, he's just bigger. I think these are about 13 inches, and there's Otto's tag. And then you've got Grace the ghost, who has Boo embroidered on her stomach, and there's Grace's tag. And then this is the one that's called Drake in McDonald's, but my tag says Patricio. I thought it said Patricia, but it's an O at the end, so it's like Patricio. But I don't know whether that's why Aldi got them, because there was a mistake and it should have said Drake. I don't know. And then my final squishmallow is a big Wade. Now, I do love Wade. I have been tempted not to part with Wade, but I've got the McDonald's version of him, so I don't think there's any point in keeping him. But there's Wade's tag. And then finally, I thought I'd show you some miscellaneous Halloween plushes that I have. So I've got this pumpkin plush, which was from Morrison's, I think last year, if not the year before, because I definitely didn't have it before I moved in with Joe, because we do our shopping every week at Morrison's, and I think I just put it in the trolley sometime. And then from Hobbycraft, I've got this ghost plush that's quite heavy. I think it's supposed to be like a paperweight or something. It's definitely too small to be a doorstop. I've also got some cushions, but I don't really count the ones that actually work as cushions downstairs. And then from Primark last year, I've got this regular pumpkin, but again, I've got 2 Mickey and 2 Minnie pumpkins now, so I'm really not sure as I need this pumpkin anymore. One plush I forgot to show in this video is the latest one I got from Flying Tiger, which you'll see in tomorrow's monthly vlog. It's a teddy bear dressed as a ghost with a trick or treat bag. And you know what? This was a pretty big one to forget to include, but this is my new catnip Halloween Bumble Book keychain. It's been on my bag ever since I got it, which is why I think I forgot to include it, because I don't see it when I'm upstairs filming. But every single time I've put my bag on, I've been like, damn, I need to include that in this video. And then finally, from Home Bargains last year, and they've bought out several over the years, I got a Gary the Ghost. He's supposed to be either a doorstop or a cushion, I can't remember which, but he's not heavy enough for a doorstop, and I think he's a bit too weirdly shaped for a cushion, so I just put him with my plush collection. He's got a cute little pumpkin, so again it negates the need for all these other pumpkins, but I do love this little Gary. Home Bargains have bought out a dog version this year where there's like a dog under a sheet, and I really wish I'd got that one. But that was my Halloween non-Disney plush collection. If you've been wanting to see this video, I really hope you enjoyed it. I hate doing these kind of collection videos because I always think, what if I've forgotten something? But I'm pretty sure I haven't, and if I have, I can always throw it in the edit. But thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did, and comment down below which one was your favourite, and I will see you tomorrow for my October vlog. So happy Halloween, in case I forget to say it, because I will be ending that vlog last Sunday, so I might forget. So just in case, have a wonderful Halloween, and I'll see you tomorrow for my October vlog. Bye friends!